So this is actually going to be a video where I go back 2 years and look at my favorites video and see if those products are still a favorite or if I've used them up since then, if I have something that has completely replaced them in my collection. I actually first got this idea from Marnie from Miss Gold Girl and Kristen Game. I'll leave both of their channels down in the description box down there. I have a list written out, so if I look down, that's what I'm looking at. But the very first item, I have it somewhere because I've repurchased it since then, but I still can't find the box with a couple of my other lotions, but it was the Maui Babe After Browning lotion. Lotion that's for after you get some sun on your skin that I really enjoy. I actually picked up the Maui Babe products when we were on our honeymoon, so I've been enjoying those products for a very long time, and you can actually purchase them at Ulta now, which I think is pretty awesome. But the second product was the L'Oreal Total Repair 5 Damage Erasing Balm. I wrote down on here that it was a pretty intensive hair mask for the drugstore. I didn't really enjoy the scent on it, but I thought that it performed pretty nice, you know, and it definitely left my hair feeling really soft and fluffy. If I'm in a pinch, I would definitely repurchase that one, but currently I have a big tub of the Macadamia Deep Repair Mask. I honestly feel like this is the best hair mask for my hair, like deep conditioner wise, and sometimes you can find them at like Marshall's or TJ Maxx for a little bit cheaper, but this huge mumbo jumbo size is upwards of, I think, what is it, like $38 or something, so it can be pretty pricey, and I definitely recommend trying to get these on sale, or they just revamped all of their packaging, so that's why a lot of them are at TJ Maxx and the discounted stores. So keep your eye out if you see this mask anywhere. So this next product, I still have it 2 years later and I still really enjoy it. This is the Thesis Raw Cocoa face mask, and this is the Chocolatier Gift. And this is a pretty interesting product. It's quite unique in my collection. So what you do with this, it's a powder, and you just put a little in your hand, you add a little bit of water to it. Let me show you right in there. I still use this every once in a while. I'm going to start using this a little bit more frequently, but this smells so amazing. It smells like chocolate brownies, and it's about a 5 to 10 minute mask. It's specifically created for dry or dehydrated skin. I can definitely say that after I use this mask, I can notice a difference in my skin for a couple days. It really feels like there's a lot more moisture in my skin, and it's just a little bit more hydrated overall. Makeup sits well over the top of, the makeup sits well after I've used this product. So I'm gonna start using this a little bit more, and maybe I'll be able to get through this before the end of the year. You just use such a small amount that you use such a small amount that I'm just barely down to this area right here. It was filled up all the way to the top when I got it, but this is a really great product, and it is vegan. What does it say on here? It has natural clays, organic herbs, premium quality, vegan, it's cruelty-free, no synthetic anything, no water, no fillers, no preservatives, no bad chemicals. It's pretty much natural, so really love that product, and the scent is awesome. The next product was the Clinique Even Better Eyes Dark Circle Corrector. I've already finished that product. I'll insert a clip or a photo right here. Originally, I just had a foil packet of it, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit, so I went out and purchased the full size of it. And I don't know, I feel like it's best used after a moisturizer but before concealer, because it doesn't conceal enough of my under eye circles to really be used on its own unless I'm not wearing any makeup that day. You can actually use that at nighttime too, instead of like a night cream under your eyes, but the one that I have currently is the First Aid Beauty Eye Duty Triple Remedy. I'm almost finished with this product, and between the two of them, I would say I don't know if I would repurchase either of them, honestly. I feel like I need something with just a little bit more coverage. This one is a little bit more of a pinky salmony kind of color, and the Clinique one was more of a skin tone. So I guess kind of depending on your coloring and how fair or how dark your skin is that could probably tell you which one that you would probably prefer, but honestly, I don't think I'm gonna repurchase this one or the Clinique one. The next product was the Pond's Luminous Finish BB Cream. I've went through quite a few of these on my channel, and I'm not going to go on and on about this for very long because it is discontinued, and I've talked this to death on my channel. I have the shade Light, and I think they only had 2 shades initially, but I would say that this is between a light and medium coverage. You can set it with powder, but honestly, you really can't find this much anywhere anymore, so that's all I'll say on that one. The next product is something that I still use to this day. Every single time that I travel, I take this with me. This is the Urban Decay Naked Basics palettes, and there's just something about this that's so easy, it's so foolproof to use when you're traveling, that this is really all you need. So that is what my palette looks like there. I have hit pan on that shade there in the center, Naked 2. I really like this palette. The only one in here that I'm just kind of like so about is this Foxy shade. This is a duplicate from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, so, you know, I really have to force myself to use that color because I have cool to neutral undertones on my skin, so a yellow powder really doesn't do much for me. When I do use it, I just toss that all over the lid before I put other shadows down to kind of set my eye primer. So anyway, I still love this palette, still travels with me all the time, so there's that one. Next up is a product that has survived 2 or 3 declutters, and that's kind of surprising to me because it's such an intense shade. This is the Milani Baked Blush in Delicioso Pink. So I wrote down on here that it says it's limited edition, but I think they've made this permanent, or the places around me just haven't run out of the stock of it yet. But that is what it looks like on the inside there. It is a matte blush. That's what it's marketed as, but it does have the slightest hint of a sheen to it when it's on your cheeks. You can see there, you can almost see a sheen in the powder. And it's really bright in the pan, but on the cheeks it does kind of tone down quite a bit, so it's not crazy intense. I did make a little swatch there, so you can see it does look crazy bright in the pan, but it will tone down quite a bit. So that was Delicioso Pink by Milani. I think I'm gonna keep this one out and use this one a little bit this summer to get some more use out of it because I completely forgot about using this one. I'm usually reaching for something else or trying to pan something, so I'm excited to pull that one out because this is a really beautiful blush shade. Next up is a Revlon lip butter. This is in the shade Gumdrop. I've seen some of these at Big Lots, so I'm not entirely sure, I'm not 100% sure if they've completely discontinued this shade from the line or if they just had an overstock or something. But this is a very pale pastel lilac color, lavender color almost, and I think I picked mine up for $2 at Big Lots. And this is just a really beautiful shade. I feel like you really have to have toned down kind of basic makeup to be able to pull this off. That's the color there. Like, it's almost the same shade as my nails. You can see it's pretty opaque. Let me show you in the lipstick bullet just for comparison. So that's it in comparison with the swatch. It's pretty opaque. You can build this up or you can have it to be just a light wash of color. Generally, I'll toss a lip gloss over the top of this just so it's not so stark, but it's a really beautiful color and I'm excited to play around with this a little bit this summer too. Then I had some nail polishes, and these 2 nail polishes from 2 years ago are still 2 of my absolute favorite shades. The first one is the Endless Blue color from Sinful Colors. I've already used up one of these bottles entirely in my Project Polish. Absolutely love how beautiful and vibrant this is on the nails. I would definitely repurchase this over and over again. I just barely picked this up for my birthday last year. And then the other one is a polish that before I started my Project Polish challenge on my channel. This is one of the very few polishes that I was able to finish up on my own and repurchase, but this is from China Glaze. This is called Pool Party. This is crazy intense. It's so bright. It's almost fluorescent on the nails. It's like a pinky, I would say a really hot fluorescent pink with just a teeny bit of a hint of like a corally orange to it. It's absolutely beautiful, and I really don't feel like it's doing it justice here, but this is a gorgeous polish. It's very opaque. I would say with both of these polishes, if you are really careful, they could be a one coat and done kind of polish. Generally with these, I like to do two just to make sure everything's perfect, but either one of these are definite recommendations for the summertime from me. And then I had a food product. I was talking about the lemon Jolly Ranchers and how those used to be my favorites, and they brought them back at that point 2 years ago, or I had just stumbled across them 2 years ago. I still love the lemon ones, but I don't feel like they're as tart as they used to be. So my new favorite, I've talked about this in a favorites video before too, but it's the, I have two bags here, but I'll just show you one. These are the sour Jolly Ranchers, and my absolute favorite one is the wild strawberry. It's pretty amazing. These are all sour. They have wild strawberry, green apple, watermelon, cherry, and blue raspberry. They're out of this world. If you like sour candies, I definitely recommend these, and I like these a little bit more than the lemon Jolly Ranchers because they're just too sweet now, in my opinion. The last item that I had on here was the Benefit Hoola Bronzer, and I did enjoy the shade of that. It's a matte, kind of cool tone bronzer. I'll put a clip or an image. I'll put an image right here. I only had a sample size of it, and I'm happy that I didn't go out and purchase the full size, and I just tried out the sample one because it did end up breaking me out, and it wasn't orange. It has almost like a grayish taupe tone to it. It's a really beautiful product if you can have that work for you, but it just doesn't work for me. It breaks me out. So my all-time favorite bronzer at the moment, and has been for a while, is the NARS Laguna bronzer. Mine's looking really scary on the inside here, but I have a lot of pan showing, and it's trying to crumble. Like, little bits and pieces was crumbling off right when I first hit pan. It's not doing it so much now that I've kind of worn a larger size of the pan in there. The tone of this is fantastic if you're fair, because you can apply it very lightly and just have a subtle amount of bronze, or you can kind of build it up a little bit and have it show up a little bit more intense. That is a swatch of it there on my hand. You can see it's blended out a little bit more up here, and it's a little bit more concentrated at the bottom, but just the tone of this is lovely. There is the slightest hint of like a, I would say like the slightest hint of a shimmer in it almost, but it doesn't really translate onto the skin at all. In my opinion, I feel like it looks like a matte bronzer. So if you're in the market for something and you're very fair, I'm about an NW10, NW15 from MAC, and this works perfectly for me. I know even people a little bit, couple shades darker than me, find this to be the perfect bronzer. So maybe test it out the next time that you're at Sephora, see if it works for you too. But anyway, those were all of my favorites from 2 years ago and what happened to them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.